Okay, if you like mystery and humor, I've got just the thing for you. Hey guys, I'm Rick. Welcome to the channel, and I want to talk to you today about a British TV show that has a lot of mystery, a lot of humor, and I really like it, and I think you will too. It's called Death in Paradise. Alright, so let's talk about Death in Paradise. First things first, if you like comedy, drama, and a whodunit, this is for you. This show originates from the BBC, and it's got somewhat of a revolving cast. In addition to supporting characters, the main character, who is usually a detective chief inspector, there have been several. Ben Miller in seasons 1 through 3, Chris Marshall in seasons 3 through 6, Ardal O'Hanlon in seasons 6 through 9, Ralph Little in seasons 9 through 13, and currently Don Gillette in season 14 as the detective chief inspector. I preface all that because usually when there is a heavily revolving cast in a series, that means that there have been shakeups and things may not have gone the direction that the writers, the producers, or the showrunners have wanted. But for this show, this really works because it's the same formula no matter what, and because there are new people every few years on this show, it never gets stale. Now, it's filmed in the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe, and it's set in the fictional location of Sainte Marie. This show was broadcast on BBC One in the United Kingdom, France 2, and PBS in the United States. Since its debut, Death in Paradise has enjoyed very high viewing figures and generally a very positive reaction and score from critics alike. Now, as I've said, there's been 14 seasons, and season 14 did just wrap up in March of 2025. They do have it renewed for at least one more season, which will be airing in 2026. So we know there's a guaranteed 15th season, and depending on how it does, hopefully we'll continue to get more. Now, when I mention the formula, usually in the show, there is a murder at the beginning of the show, and it's up to the current detective chief inspector to solve the mystery, and he's aided by his detective sergeant and one or two of the members of the Sainte Marie police force. It's not one of those shows where you can figure out immediately who did it. It does take some thought, and sometimes they do stretch it a little, but that's okay because it helps you get the inner workings of the detectives involved and lets you see their thought process, how they go about solving it, and what they do to solve the mystery. It's not like for example, a CSI where you know who did it in most cases, but they show you how they go through the evidence to find out who did it. I'd say it's similar to a CSI here in America, where they go through the evidence and you see how they did it, only it doesn't have the lab work and going through that sort of thing. This is all just good old-fashioned police work. Now, the show started in 2011, and like I said, still going strong. Hopefully we get more seasons beyond the 15th season. As with any cast that has a lot of turnover, though, you do have your favorites, and you do have a few that we'll just say are less than favorited. But I will say this, for the characters that I didn't particularly feel fond of, they aren't on the show as long. And maybe that's because showrunners felt the same way. it wasn't working out and they went in a new direction. But for whatever reason, there is turnover, but it keeps it fresh. It has a very formulaic approach to its plots. Each episode roughly the same length, same style, same narrative structure. Each begins with a pre-credit sequence showing the events leading up to a murder, and often the discovery of a body afterwards. This serves to introduce each episode's guest characters. And the police force of St. Marie is subsequently informed of the murder. Preliminary investigations begin, interviews take place, they establish the suspects, the photographs, check the crime scene, all that good stuff, and all suspects are placed on the quote-unquote whiteboard. Often towards the end, the detective inspector will have a moment of realization, perhaps brought on by something that someone says or does, or some obscure occurrence. At this moment, the how, the why, and the who of the murder are comprehended by the detective inspector, but they're not revealed immediately to the audience. The suspects are all gathered together, kind of like a Poirot style, if you're familiar with that, or I'm not sure if Columbo ever did it. You guys can leave me a comment and let me know, but they're all brought together and then the pieces are revealed. So yeah, that's very much an Agatha Christie style. And they admit to it, so it is in the vein of a Miss Marple or a Hercule Poirot. And normally each episode ends with a comedic scene or a celebratory trip by the police to Catherine's bar, where they have a drink and just enjoy the moment. It's a very good cast. I love the characters. I love the plots. Like I said, the mystery and the humor are a perfect mix. This is a really good show. You should watch it. Like I said, it's on PBS here in America, BBC overseas, or France too. Check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave me a comment. So yeah, that's Death in Paradise. And right now it has 14 seasons out on DVD and Blu-ray. Check it out. And you can also find it on BBC America and the BBC channel, I believe, and on the PBS stations as well. It's really, really worth it. You're gonna love it. It's not too deep. It's not too wacky. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, stay positive, stay blessed.